Set in the violent world of mixed martial arts combat, this story tells of two estranged brothers whose paths suddenly collide.
You're my big brother, you bailed on me.
When Tommy learns that a tournament prize is the biggest in history,
Top 16 middleweights in the world.
he recruits his father to whip him into shape, but his brother Brendan wonders if he too could have a shot
I was hoping that you would train me.
at winning the coveted purse. The brothers must finally confront the forces that tore them apart,
You had a choice.
all the while waging a winner-takes-all battle in Warrior.
We've all just seen it. Dennis, tell us what you think.
First, let me ask you this. Are any of us here fans of mixed martial arts? Raise your hand if you are.
No, not really. No.
Were any of us looking forward to seeing this movie? Raise your hand.
Absolutely not. No.
Did any of us love this movie? Raise your hand if you love this movie.
Yes.
How does that happen?
The director and writer, Gavin O'Connor, along with Anthony Tambakis and Cliff Dorfman, have really crafted a well-thought-out male melodrama that is so full of what I like to call this rugged pathos, that it's not just about mixed martial arts.
I felt the same way when I saw the preview, and as I was going to the theater, I was thinking to myself, is there ever going to be a UFC movie in the vein of like Raging Bull or The Fighter, something that really engages us with these characters and the fighting is kind of in the backdrop? And I feel like The Warrior did that very, very well.
I had the same rush that I feel when I watch a great football game. Because the screenwriter, he's running down the field and he dodges this cliche and he dodges that cheese and he dodges this melodrama and he makes it in the end zone and you can't help but cheer.
I'm so glad that you brought that up, because what's really intriguing yet deceptively, kind of simple about this movie is it is very structured. We set up one character and we set up another character, but these characters are so emotionally intertwined and they have such exposed emotional raw nerves that just being around one another is always threatens to push those buttons. And so then when you get to the end of this, you really are kind of emotionally torn about who you're supposed to be rooting for.
This movie is all method. It's done almost like an MMA fight, even to the point of the two brothers, they have very specific ways of fighting. Tommy is very angry, a former Marine, so much rage, so that when he fights, it's all power, and then his brother, Joel Edgerton, he's a physics teacher, which is very important because when he fights, it's all submission moves. It's all ground and pound.
I think another fascinating thing about the structure of the film is that we're never shown the violence that destroyed their family. We're only left with the aftermath. And just when you think you have a handle on what this means, the filmmakers take you in a completely different direction, which is a point that I think that you made.
It does well to not have movie moments and have real moments instead.
Right.
Exactly.
And I think that that's a little destabilizing for the audience, and it creates this kind of emotional ping pong.
What did you think about Tom Hardy?
I am now a fan of Tom Hardy.
Right?
I had only previously remembered him from Inception and from Band of Brothers. I felt that he was perfectly cast. I felt like the entire cast actually was spot on.
It's kind of a pyramid structure, as I think of it. You've got Tom Hardy as kind of the lead, but his performance really relies on the brothers' performance. And the brothers' performance really relies on the father's and the wife's performance.
I thought we agreed that we weren't going to raise our children in a family where their father gets beat up for a living.
If either of those key support characters phone in a performance or have a weak moment, the whole structure starts to fall apart. But there is no weak moment. The flip side is casting a veteran actor where he'll do the most good, and that's where Nick Nolte comes in. That's the genius of that casting. Because what that allows you to do is you can just give the barest sketch of the background, he's an abusive dad, and then you cast Nick Nolte and people say, I got it. Gavin O'Connor, the director, succeeds in this movie. Directing's all about choices, and his cast was one of the stellar choices that he made.
He earns these emotional beats. He adds these small little scenes of character development, which you don't really see in movies nowadays.
It's my feeling that the director is making you wait and be patient and creating this anticipation. So when there is a climax, it really does pay off.
But part of why pacing is so good in this movie, so brilliant, is that you've got these he's earning these emotional beats. He's setting up these important character moments, but just when it might get to the point of you're starting to get bored, bam, the fight comes in. We forget this is also a great fight movie.
Yeah,
Right.
It is.
Right? Guys will not be disappointed. They have got some absolutely fantastic fight scenes.
Yeah,
That's
and,
right.
And what I love is that they set up the audience so well when we're watching the fight that we root so much for these people to win because they really beat them down before each fight.
Well, one of the ways that
Yeah.
he does that is he uses this documentary realist
Yeah.
style where he situates the camera over people's shoulders or positions the camera so that we become aware of our viewing in those moments.
I think
Yeah.
I think we've said all we need to say. Should we
pretty much.
vote?
Yeah,
I
let's
think
do
we
it.
should
Let's take
vote.
it to a vote.
All right.
I think we should vote.
All right.
Warrior is a workhorse of a film that really grinds out a fantastic story and earns the audience's respect. And with that, I am going to say it is a see it.
Warrior, sad, triumphant, extremely engaging, and honestly, some amazing fight sequences. See it.
Gotta recommend this movie because this is going to be somebody's future favorite movie. Definitely a see it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.